There's something quietly powerful about a tree. It anchors the land, whispers in the wind, and marks the passage of time not in days but in seasons, in rings. But of all the trees that could grace the yards of American homes, there is one that stands out, not just for its beauty, but for the way it transforms its environment, supports wildlife, survives extreme conditions, and adds real value to a property. That tree is the American Serviceberry, and by the end of this, you'll not only know why it belongs in every yard across the country, but you'll wonder why it's not already in yours. Imagine stepping outside on a crisp spring morning. The air is fresh with dew, and there in your yard is a soft explosion of white blossoms, fluttering like snowflakes caught in slow motion. The American Serviceberry, also known as Amelanchier, puts on one of the most elegant floral displays of any native tree. Not over the top or gaudy like some ornamentals, no, this tree whispers beauty. Its delicate flowers emerge before the leaves, catching the morning sun like they were dipped in frost. Bees adore them. Butterflies flock to them. And for you, the show is just beginning. Because after the petals fall, and they do so gracefully, like a curtain at the end of an act, the tree begins its next performance. Tiny green berries form, ripening into a deep, rich red and finally, a blue-black hue that resembles blueberries in both appearance and taste. These are the serviceberries, and if you haven't tasted one fresh off the branch, you've missed one of North America's finest wild flavors. Sweet, juicy, and with just the right tang, they're loved by humans and wildlife alike. Birds, especially robins, cedar waxwings, and cardinals, will visit your tree daily during berry season, adding music and movement to your yard. And if you can beat them to it, you can make serviceberry jam, pies, syrups, or just eat them by the handful, warm from the sun. But the American Serviceberry isn't just a spring and summer beauty, it's a four-season showstopper. As autumn arrives, its leaves turn to flame. Not just one color, but a painter's palette of scarlet, gold, and burnt orange. It lights up your yard like a campfire at dusk, glowing against the fading green of other trees. And when winter finally strips the last leaf away, what remains is a graceful silhouette, smooth gray bark, slender branches, and a sculptural presence that captures the low light of December in quiet elegance. Even the snow seems to respect it, dusting its limbs like powdered sugar. Yet for all its charm, this tree is as tough as they come. Native to nearly every state in the continental US, it thrives in a wide range of climates, from the humid south to the snowy north, from the coasts to the prairies. It handles drought better than most ornamentals. It tolerates clay, loam, sand, and everything in between. It's small enough to suit suburban yards, growing typically between 15 to 25 feet tall, but hardy enough to survive urban pollution and extreme weather. It doesn't need pampering. It just needs a place to root. And that's part of its genius. The American Serviceberry is as practical as it is beautiful. It's a native species, which means it evolved right here in North America alongside the local birds, bees, and insects. Planting one is an act of ecological harmony. You're not just adding a tree, you're rebuilding an ancient relationship. Native bees recognize its flowers. Caterpillars feed on its leaves. Birds build nests in its branches. You're creating a pocket of biodiversity in your own backyard. One tree, and suddenly the yard is alive. Compare that to the average ornamental tree that many yards feature, imported species with little to no value for local wildlife, trees that need fertilizers, pesticides, and constant trimming just to look acceptable. The serviceberry needs none of that. It fits in naturally. And while its beauty can compete with the best imported ornamentals, its benefits go far deeper. It's low maintenance, pest resistant, and environmentally smart. It's a tree that gives more than it takes. Let's also talk property value. Landscaping is one of the few home improvements that can increase both your enjoyment and your equity. According to real estate studies, mature trees can increase home values by up to 15%. But not all trees are created equal. Potential buyers look for trees that offer beauty, shade, and curb appeal. But also those that won't destroy foundations, crack sidewalks, or drop messy, inedible fruit. The serviceberry fits the bill perfectly. Its root system is non-invasive, its size is manageable, and its fruits are a bonus, not a burden. When a potential buyer walks up to a house with a mature serviceberry in bloom, there's an instant sense of charm and care, an emotional response that sticks. Still, even if you never plan to sell your home, this tree enhances your everyday life. It draws you outside. It connects you to the rhythms of the seasons. You'll find yourself waiting for that first blossom, watching the berries ripen, admiring the fire of fall, and tracing the bare limbs against the winter sky. It becomes a part of your story. Children can climb its branches, collect its berries, or learn about nature through its presence. It's not just decoration, it's an experience. And what about sustainability? In a time when climate resilience is more important than ever, planting a serviceberry is a step in the right direction. It sequesters carbon, filters air, cools the area around it, and prevents soil erosion. Unlike high-maintenance turf grass, which requires constant mowing, watering, and chemicals, a serviceberry tree provides all these benefits with minimal input. Plant one, and you're not just improving your yard, you're doing your part for the planet. It's also worth mentioning how adaptable this tree is to modern landscaping trends. Whether your aesthetic is wild and native or clean and contemporary, the serviceberry fits right in. It can be a standalone focal point in a front yard. It can be grouped with other natives for a wildlife garden. It can be pruned into a multi-trunked shrub or left to grow as a small tree. It works well near patios, along driveways, or at the edge of woodland borders. It's not a one-look tree, it's a living sculpture that adapts to your style. Perhaps most importantly, planting this tree is an act of legacy. Think of how many things we buy that fade with time. Clothes wear out, electronics become obsolete, trends pass. But a tree grows. It becomes stronger, more beautiful, more meaningful every year. The serviceberry you plant today could be the tree your children climb tomorrow, the one your grandchildren pick berries from, the one future generations shade under on a hot summer day. It marks your place in the world, quietly but enduringly. So why isn't this tree in every yard already? In part, because it's modest. It doesn't scream for attention like a flowering cherry or a showy magnolia. It doesn't come with a marketing campaign or Instagram fame. But that's part of its appeal. It's a humble hero, a quietly spectacular contributor to the American landscape. It doesn't need to be exotic to be exceptional. The American Serviceberry has it all: beauty in every season, benefits for birds and pollinators, adaptability to different regions, low maintenance, and high reward. It's the kind of tree that makes your yard feel more alive, more rooted, more in tune with the natural world. It's the kind of tree that reminds us what it means to be part of a place, not just living on land, but living with it. So if you're considering adding a tree to your yard, or replacing one that's past its prime, don't just go to the nursery and pick the flashiest thing on the lot. Think deeper. Think local. Think lasting. The American Serviceberry doesn't just belong in your yard, it belongs to the story of America itself. And now, it's ready to be part of yours.